Testament to resilience, a story of strength, healing, and hope. We go beyond treatment to redefine what compassionate care truly means. That's Tanner Health. That's care redefined. Learn more at tanner.org.
Oak Mountain Academy specializes in a customized designed academic approach tailored to meet the needs of our families. Our lower division prepares students with the necessary foundation to build excellence. Our middle division provides students with over 15 course offerings, providing them with opportunities to explore their talents and gifts. Our upper division provides personalized academic journeys, allowing them to achieve their dreams. I'm Patrick Uran, head of school, inviting you to journey with us. For more information, visit us at oakmountain.us, where every path leads to purpose.
National headlines and the local stories you care about. WLBB, Carrollton, News Talk 1330, FM 106.3.
All right, timer now is 8:30. Good Monday morning, and welcome to the WLBB Community Voice here on News Talk 1330 FM 106.3, streaming live online at newstalk1330.com. We also have that good-looking WLBB app that you can download from the App Store. And this morning we're on the News Talk 1330 WLBB Facebook page, where you can see my handsome young guest, and I'll let him introduce himself here in just a second. I want to remind you that the general primary election, nonpartisan election, is coming up on May the 19th. Early voting for those races is April the 27th through the 15th day of May. Now, the last day to register to be able to vote in that election, which includes the primary races for governor, if you care more about that, is April the 20th, so that's 1 week from today. That's the last day. Among the four races here locally, 4 people did qualify to run for the District 4 seat on the Carroll County Board of Commissioners. Current District 4 Commissioner Steve Fuller did not qualify to run for re-election. He decided he just wants to hang out and drink wine and produce wine for the next 30 years, so he left it open for qualifying. The 4 that did qualify include Jeffrey Vance, Will Godby, Tina Shockley. Tina's already been on the program. We've got Will and Jeffrey coming up in the next couple of weeks. This morning we have Jason Jones. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
And thank you for coming out. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Let's let you introduce yourself, the important things that we should know about you, favorite colors, family,
Sure.
and what you do locally.
Sure. Well, I'm Jason Jones. I'm a lifelong resident of Carroll County. I have been practicing law in the community for 27 years, almost 30 years now. I started out my practice in Carroll County. I was in Carroll County and Douglas County up until about 2010, and then I made a decision to switch over to litigation and do work for the state of Georgia. So I have been doing that since 2010. And now, I guess, 16 years working either as an assistant public defender or an assistant district attorney. I'm now with the Haralson County District Attorney's Office, so it allows me to run for this position because if I were working for the Carroll County District Attorney, I would have to write my own paycheck, so to speak. So working for Haralson County, I'm able to run for this position and still keep my day job. I've got 4 children. My wife and I are from Carroll County. My wife is with the McMahon Jones law firm here in Carroll County. She's an attorney. She put herself through law school when we had 4 young children, and we live here in Carroll County with our 4 kids. They all go through the Carroll County school system. I've got 3 in college now, 1 maybe about 2 years from now. Hopefully we can get her graduated and off to college. And
whatever she feels. Hopefully we can get her.
No, she's doing great. She's an honor student and all into the drama and chorus program at Central High School. And I've got 1 at University of Georgia and 2 at West Georgia, and we just have busy lives, but looking forward to running for this position, and hopefully we'll see what happens to come May or maybe June runoff. Yeah. And ideally, I would just like to be able to represent the folks in District 4.
And we'll dive into that, your motivations and things, but
yeah.
But the decision to not make $1 bajillion and be a defense attorney, but rather a prosecutor. Right? And I think public defense you said as well. But those are not typically the big money makers.
No, they're not. Like I said, in 2010, I was in private practice up until 2010. Market started changing. Of course, we had the economic slump in 2008, 2010. Back then, I was doing a lot of real estate transactional work, like what my wife does today. And when the market kind of crashed around here, at that point, I had 4 young babies. So we needed to find kind of a steady income source because the day-to-day in the private practice with the real estate business was not doing so well at that time. So I went to work for the state at that time, thinking I would probably do it for a couple of years and then I would get out of that. But as I started doing litigation and doing a lot more things in the courtroom, I found out I really enjoyed doing that kind of work. And what was going to be kind of a 2-year transition period ended up being now I'm into my 16th year of doing public defense and prosecution work. I just enjoy being in the courtroom. I enjoy advocating for the people in my community. To me, it is more rewarding and fulfilling to be able to do things for the people in my community than to actually kind of look at this as more or less just a stream of income. To me, being an attorney and advocating for your clients or advocating for the citizens of the state of Georgia, to me, doing that kind of work and making sure you're doing a good job for your client and your, in my case, the citizens of the state of Georgia, to me, I just find more personal fulfillment in doing that than out chasing clients, trying to chase clients for their money and that sort of thing. I did that for a long time, and I just enjoy actually doing the legal work more than the what comes along with that.
Mm-hmm. So, now, I imagine most jobs you have the opportunity to keep improving and learning about changes in your profession. But I think being an attorney or a judge or anything, it's going to be constant. So you'd have to enjoy that too, right? Because there's so many things changing, and you see a law, something happen at a different court case. That's
exactly right. Yeah, that's one thing I enjoy about practicing law is it's always something different every day. You're always constantly learning. I'm just lifelong student, I guess, from more personal standpoint. I just enjoy learning. I enjoy researching the issues and really kind of diving into the cases that I'm working. And like I said, the law is evolving, changing things. Things change every day when cases get put before the Georgia Court of Appeals or Georgia Supreme Court or the U.S. Supreme Court for that matter. We see changes in the law depending on the opinions that come out, and certainly our Georgia General Assembly just wrapped up their session, and there's going to be a lot of changes based on things that have happened over the last couple of months in the General Assembly. So we're constantly dealing with the law as it evolves and always having to learn new things in the legal practice. So I do enjoy that. That, I think, kind of translates well to representing the community before District 4 because, I think you have to have a good knowledge of the law and how things, how policy decisions around here are impacted by legal issues that come up. Of course, there's a county attorney that advises the county board, but
she does a great job.
Yeah, that's right, and they do great things. But I do think having that level of experience and that level of knowledge on the board would be a good thing. I think that being able to analyze the issues, I think anyone who serves the public interest needs to be able to analyze the issues and really look at the issues that are coming before their community. And that's something that I think I do pretty well with being an attorney. I have to look at all those issues. I have to look at the kind of two sides of an issue and really analyze where we end up on those issues. And to me, being able to really look into that and research the issues and all, I think that lends well to someone who would be in this position.
Sure. Jason Jones, one of 4 candidates running for the District 4 seat on the Carroll County Board of Commissioners, our guest on this morning's Community Voice. Before we do head to our break, describe the boundaries of District 4 for me so people listening.
So, yeah, District 4 is kind of unique because about what I would say probably about 3/4 of the residential part of the city of Carrollton is in District 4, as well as a significant portion of the south side of the county. Maybe northern south side of the county. You don't get all the way down into like Whitesburg and Lowell and Roopville, but you do get sort of the section of the county between the city limits of Carrollton and then down to around Clem, the Hooping Creek area over to the Salem Church area, and then you go north up to Rome Street, and you have a lot of the Rome Street, Cedar Street, Stewart Street, Almond Road, that area. So you've got
like right next door here.
Yeah, so you have a lot of different. It's really a diverse district, and whoever represents this district is going to have to be able to balance the interest of the people that live on Rome Street and the people that live on Stewart Street and Almond Road, that area, as well as the people who live in Clem or Salem Church Road area or out in the Oak Grove community. So there's a lot of different. There's a lot of diversity. There's a lot of different interests that come into play. I think whoever represents this district is going to need to be able to advocate for everyone in the district, and you're going to have to be able to, there are folks who live in Clem or Oak Grove that may see things a little bit differently from the folks that live on, Sunset Hills or Oak Mountain Golf Club.
So when you're out campaigning, you're wearing a suit for the northern portion. You're putting on the bibbed overalls to go a little bit south of 4.
With my campaign, because I have a pretty busy day job, so I generally. I make sure I stop working about 5 o'clock every day up in Haralson County, and I head back home and I start knocking on doors. So I'm usually wearing a suit like I am today because I have to go from here to court today. But I'll take my tie off and just get out there, and usually take my jacket off because it is getting warm outside.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't. I'm just me, regardless of where I am. But I do try to engage with the community as much as possible. I want to hear from as many people as possible. So every day I try to get out and knock on doors as soon as I get done with work. It doesn't give me a lot of time to campaign because, generally I start working on my campaign from about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the evening until the sun goes down, and then get out there on the weekends. But I have tried to make a very diligent effort at meeting everybody in the community I've gone out through Clem and Oak Grove area, and I'm trying to work my way through different portions of the county, different portions of the city, trying to meet as many people as I can and really learn from the constituents in the district about what issues are important to them. And I want to make sure that I am advocating for as many of the people in the district as possible, regardless of where they live within the district.
Yeah, before I do take this first break, and you could probably put these two questions together, actually, as far as your motivation for running, and would you have sought this seat if Steve would have stayed on, if he would have sought re-election this year?
No, if Steve were running for re-election, I would have not sought this seat. I think just based on I've been thinking for a while about other ways I can serve the community, other ways I can engage, and I really did not give much thought to running for District 4 Commissioner until Steve announced his retirement, and I started looking at issues and thinking about who was running for this position and who could best serve the interest of District 4. And I really think based on my background, my legal experience, my experience in general, my life experience, I'm 53 years old. I've been an attorney for almost 30 years, and my day job is advocating for people. I feel like when I look at my candidacy versus the candidacy of the other candidates, I have the experience and leadership to actually be able to advocate for the people in District 4, regardless of what section of District 4 they're in. But to me, it's very important that we have strong advocates on the board that can advocate for the people in the district. And I feel like my life experience, my skill set, all lends well to best representing the people in the district. So,
all right, time right now is 8:44. We're going to continue our conversation with Jason Jones, one of four candidates running for that District 4 seat on the Carroll County Board of Commissioners. We'll be back with more Community Voice after this. Community Voice brought to you by Tanner Health and Oak Mountain Academy.
Imagine a place where every heartbeat is monitored with the utmost care, where emergencies are met with swift attention, and where cutting-edge technology enables precise and timely treatments. At Tanner Health, every patient's journey is a testament to resilience, a story of strength, healing, and hope. We go beyond treatment to redefine what compassionate care truly means. That's Tanner Health. That's care redefined. Learn more at tanner.org.
Oak Mountain Academy is a vibrant community built on innovation, academic excellence, and a 64-year legacy of shaping community leaders. I'm Patrick Uran, head of school at Oak Mountain Academy, inviting you to visit the mountain and experience firsthand the passion, purpose, and personalized education that defines our school. Come see how our mission and vision come to life each day. For more information, visit us at oakmountain.us so that you can discover your journey on the mountain, where every path leads to purpose.
8:45, Community Voice, brought to you by Tanner Health and Oak Mountain Academy. My name's Colin Worthington. My guest this morning, Jason Jones, one of four candidates running for the District 4 seat on the Carroll County Board of Commissioners. Early voting starts April 27th. Election Day is May the 19th?
Election Day is May 19th.
May the 19th. All right, again, Jason Jones, our guest. One of our favorite topics has been for the last year is the discussion of data centers. And, they are taking over the state of Georgia and
yes,
pretty near maybe all the U.S. So what's your... What is your position on that? Do you feel like no way, no how? Am I ever going to approve a data center to come into Carroll County? Do you want to? We consider how much money it could potentially bring in property taxes. Is there anywhere that you would be open to a data center coming to Carroll County?
I have tried to consider all of the issues involving data centers. I've tried to research that as much as information is currently available. The problem with data centers, the problem with the information on data centers is you're getting a lot of information from people who kind of have a stake in the business with data centers. So you're seeing a lot of pro-data center information coming from people that are either trying to build data centers or they work for the regulated industries that are going to profit from data centers. You're seeing a lot of information from very biased sources, I think. The problem I'm as far as I know, I'm the only candidate who has unequivocally gone on record saying that I'm opposed to data centers, and I am opposed to data centers for Carroll County. I understand there's a need for data centers. I think there are places that are better suited for having data centers. I don't think Carroll County is an appropriate place for data centers. Now, in terms of the economic benefit data centers, the pro data center folks are talking about how it's going to generate more tax income from the companies and the corporations that run these data centers. I think that is not necessarily the case when you look at the tax abatements that you're going to have to give to these data centers to be able to bring these data centers to your community. There's a reason why data centers are sort of going after these more rural areas to put their data centers, because those are communities that need the tax resources to be able to bring those data centers in. I think in Carroll County, Carroll County has we certainly have a surplus right now. I feel like our budget is managed very efficiently. I think that all in all, the county is in pretty good shape right now financially. I think in terms of the economic impact of data centers, I don't think it's as significant as those proponents of data centers would like you to believe, based on tax abatements and what the overall cost to the community are in bringing these data centers in. I think the more significant impact is on the resources that data centers would require. Certainly, part of my campaign is I want to try to preserve as much of the rural heritage of our county, the rural lands of our county as we can. I think that am not anti-growth, but I am anti-sprawl. I think we need to manage growth efficiently. We need to manage growth. We need to think very long-term in terms of development in our community, and I don't always see us doing that right now. I think right now we have a lot of if we look throughout our county, I think we'll see a lot of growth that maybe we haven't necessarily thought enough about how that's going to impact our community, how that's going to impact our county. I see a lot of things that are happening around the city of Carrollton that's an issue on.
It's a metropolis now.
Yeah, I think we definitely need to have better dialogue between the county and the city government, city of Carrollton and the county government. I feel like I know enough of the players involved in city government where I can help with that dialogue, but I definitely think the county needs to be talking to the city on things that the city is doing and how that impacts the county. So in terms of overall development, I think we need smart, well-planned development that brings jobs to our community, development that helps our quality of life. I don't think we need to just throw up every subdivision and every rooftop that we can throw up out there. I think we need to follow our comprehensive plan. We need to follow our future land use maps, and we need to make sure we're putting development in areas where our infrastructure supports it. My parents were both in the real estate business. I was former closing attorney. My wife is a closing attorney. I'm not anti-development at all, but I want to make sure that we develop and grow in ways that are smart and well focused on our community and maintaining our quality of life. In terms of data centers, I don't think data centers actually support our quality of life around here. I think that there's too much of a drain on resources. I think that the electrical, the water consumption, even in talks of the self-contained cooling systems and all of that, I think, again, you're getting a lot of information from folks that are in the industry when it comes to that. But I think all in all, data centers don't support our quality of life in Carroll County, and they're not really in looking at our long-range plan for how we want to thrive as a community.
Are data centers under special use permit, or are they under industrial in Carroll County?
Right now, I think that's kind of in limbo. I think we've got
to adjust.
I think one of the next goals of the county commission is to try to address exactly how the data centers would fit under our current land use regulations.
Because if there is if it does go under industrial, if there is industrial, then they don't have to ask anybody to do it, and they can pop on in there if they choose. Would you sign an NDA if they came to the county and said, hey, we're don't talk about this yet, but we're going to do this?
I don't believe that I would sign an NDA, because I think that obviously as an elected official, you're responsible for representing the people in your community, and the people in your community have a right to know what's going on with potential development and proposed development. I would obviously defer to the county attorney on exactly what would be appropriate. But my concern with any NDA that would require you to withhold information from your constituency is that kind of goes against the principles of representative government and kind of goes against the principles of a democratic society. So I think if you're an elected official, your first responsibility is to the people in your district, the people that you represent, not to any company that wants you to sign an NDA or the potential relationship between that company and the county government.
Time right now is 8:53. Our guest this morning, one of the four candidates running for the District 4 seat on the Carroll County Board of Commissioners, Jason Jones. We got about 5 minutes left. If when we come back, if you have any questions or comments, I encourage you to post those on our Facebook page, and I'll try and take a look at those. But yeah, we'll take our break here and come back with more Community Voice, brought to you by Tanner Health and Oak Mountain Academy.
Imagine a place where every heartbeat is monitored with the utmost care, where emergencies are met with swift attention, and where cutting-edge technology enables precise and timely treatments. At Tanner Health, every patient's journey is a testament to resilience, a story of strength, healing, and hope. we go beyond treatment to redefine what compassionate care truly means. That's Tanner Health. That's care redefined. Learn more at tanner.org.
Do the math. At Oak Mountain Academy, our average graduating class has just 12 students. We celebrate a 100% graduation rate with more than $10.5 million in college scholarships offered. Plus, 96% of our students are accepted into their top choice college. Do the math. Can you see the value of an OMA education? I'm Patrick Uran, head of school at Oak Mountain Academy, and I'm here to help you do the math. For more information, visit us at oakmountain.us so that you can discover your journey on the mountain, where every path leads to purpose.
All right, time right now is 8:54. We've got about 5 minutes left in this morning's Community Voice program with Jason Jones, who is one of 4 candidates running for the District 4 seat on the Carroll County Board of Commissioners. My name's Colin Worthington. Some of you have chimed in here on the Facebook page. Thanks to those of you who did. Juan Carlos Ferrero, a big-time viewer. I know he watches our program a lot, so thanks for checking in, Juan. So are you opposed to sprawl of Carroll County, or are you in favor of density in the city of Carrollton?
Yes, I'm opposed to sprawl anywhere. I think that we have to have focused growth that's consistent with our principles of with our comprehensive plan and our future land use maps. I think that I am more in favor of density around the city of Carrollton because that's in line with our comprehensive plan and our land use maps, and that's where the city of Carrollton is where our infrastructure supports development. That's where our sewer is. That's we don't have a county sewer system. We can't have big developments in the county without having better planning for infrastructure that would support that type of development. I think in terms of sprawl, I'm opposed to sprawl in any ways. I certainly think that density around the city of Carrollton for developments that are appropriate for the city of Carrollton is the better land use plan, better way of using our land and our resources.
All right, got 4 minutes. For the last 30 years, at least, the majority of Carroll County voters have supported special purpose local option sales tax. They vote for it and approve it every 5 years. Now, are you a supporter of that, and are you pleased with the way the county has spent that money over the last 30 years? Because there is the concern that you're going to raise this money, so it's like you have to spend it if you don't need it.
Yeah. I think the benefit of special purpose local option sales tax. The benefit of a SPLOST tax is that it keeps your property taxes from increasing significantly, and obviously we've had some increase in our property taxes recently. But the benefit of a SPLOST is that it is a relatively slight impact on our sales, and it allows us to do projects that are important to the community. So I'm not necessarily opposed to a SPLOST. I do think that what we have done in the past, where we've had referendums and we've allowed the community to decide whether that is an appropriate spending, if that's something that's appropriate, we put it to the community and we allow the community to decide if they would vote in favor of that or if they would be opposed to that. And there has to be, I don't think there should be a pot of money where the local government can just go and spend that however they want. In terms of, as I understand the SPLOST, the way it has been in the past and the way it should be, is that you have very specific directives that are outlined by the county government or by the government that is attempting to pass the SPLOST as to how they intend on spending that money before the SPLOST is ever passed. So if we've got a big project that we need to fund with a SPLOST, that needs to be clearly identified up front before the county ever votes on that. And then the public needs to be able to vote on that and weigh in on that and decide how they want to spend that money. and if it's not an appropriate project, then it goes away.
All right, Jason, you got 30 seconds. I'm leaving my house. I got my cup of coffee. I'm late for work, and this is the only time you're going to be in my neighborhood to talk to me. What are you going to tell me in that 30 seconds I'm giving you?
So I believe that I am the most experienced candidate, the candidate with the background that puts me in a position to be able to assist the residents of District 4 in ways that the other candidates cannot. The other candidates do not. I have practiced law for almost 30 years. I'm an advocate by trade. That's my day job. I study issues. I learn about the issues. I'm a big learner, and it's important for me to get in there and actually be able to advocate for the people in the community.
All right. Jason Jones, one of 4 candidates running for that District 4 seat on the Carroll County Board of Commissioners. Jason, good to see you. Thanks for coming in this morning.
Thank you.
And remember, early voting starts on April the 27th. Community Voice brought to you by Tanner Health and Oak Mountain Academy.